This is Harrison Smith, director and writer of Death House, Camp Dread, and Zombie Killers. I also produced and wrote The Fields with Cloris Leachman and Tara Reid, and 6 Degrees of Hell. I started the Horror 101 list because I got a very bizarre tweet one time. Somebody telling me that I should look at making a film version of the TV series Scream. So I made a Building Blocks 101 kind of list for horror. This doesn't mean it's everything that's out there, nor does it mean that I'm including all cult films or maybe something that's your personal favorite. What I'm saying is these are the DNA, the building blocks of the genre that goes all the way back to the 1920s. I hope you like the list, and my thanks to the Dorkening for promoting it.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Dorkening. I'm Kevin, and I'm joined by...
I'm the 13th Wolfman.
And today we're talking about a movie that's on our Horror 101 list. If you don't know what the Horror 101 list, it's a list that was put together by the director Harrison Smith, director of the upcoming awesome movie, I'm sure, Death House, which I'm very much looking forward to. So this is a list of movies that he feels are essentials for your horror viewing. And this one is an interesting one. We're both fans of Universal Classic Movie Monsters. Why don't you tell them which movie we're talking about today?
Well, today we're talking about Frankenstein meets the Wolfman, 1943. Lon Chaney Jr., Bela Lugosi as Frankenstein, and this is just, I think this is like the fourth or fifth, basically in the Frankenstein line. You could tell that the storyline is starting to get stretched out.
So I'm going to do the quick synopsis. It says, after being awakened, Larry Talbot, was it chips Frankenstein's monster? Okay, sorry. Larry Talbot chips Frankenstein's monster out of a block of ice. When Talbot changes into the Wolfman, the two creatures battle each other. And now I'm going to give Harrison's quick reason to why this is on his list. Why is it on his list? The first real horror mashup that will set the tone for Freddy vs. Jason and other fan wishful thinking lineups. Wrongfully named because Frankenstein is not in this, the monster is. It's paired up Lon Chaney Jr. and Bela Lugosi, who finally plays the monster after turning it down in 1931, with a role going to Karloff, obviously. A kid matinee treat, Universal Monster series that was in sharp decline at this point. So you're correct. So it's something where obviously things had been on the downturn on these Universal movie monsters, and he brought up some good points here. The things like Freddy vs. Jason and like looking for these kind of mashups,
Right. And he's also right about the fact that Bela Lugosi did turn down the original Frank. They offered it to him, and he said no because he had no lines in the movie whatsoever. And this, all he does is scream.
Yeah.
In fact, they recorded Bela with lines in this movie because at one point in one of the movies, I believe it's Bride, the Frankenstein monster speaks. You know, he also speaks in the book, which is something.
Yeah.
But they recorded him for Frankenstein meets the Wolfman with dialogue, and then they erased all of his dialogue.
I'll be honest with you, I did not like him very much as Frankenstein. I did not like the look of it. I didn't like the way that he, like compared to the original, which is my favorite Universal Classic Movie monster. It just seemed like, hey, I'm pretending to be Frankenstein here. I just didn't like the look of it. His face didn't look right to me.
This movie actually was supposed to be Lon Chaney in both roles. But with like 8 hours of getting the Wolfman monster makeup on, they thought we can't do this to him. That's like an 18-hour day just to shoot,
a scene.
just to shoot a scene. I love the Wolfman, you know that.
Yeah.
This is really one of my least favorite Universal Monster movies because, as far as the title goes, Frankenstein meets the Wolfman. I know a lot of people misconstrue that Frankenstein's the name of the monster, but I don't think they meet. And I think it's like half an hour. The movie's only an hour and 13 minutes long,
Yeah.
and it takes half an hour just for Larry Talbot to find the monster.
Right. And like legit when it actually gets to the battle, um, that's like the last like 5 minutes of the movie.
5 minutes, yeah.
So I was watching it and I'm like, all right, this battle's going on. There's 50 seconds left of this movie. I'm like, and then it just ends very abruptly,
Yeah.
obviously. But still at the same time, too, I think it's worth checking out. I mean, if you're a fan of the Universal Classic Movie
Oh,
Monsters, I mean, it definitely has the vibe. Obviously, it's a lesser of the originals.
yeah.
It's to the point where it's at the campy point.
It's getting there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They haven't done House of Dracula or House of Frankenstein or even Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein yet. So you still got three more movies you got to sit through.
Yeah.
You
But I
know,
mean, I definitely think it's worth checking out, just to say that you've seen it. I mean, if you're a fan, because I'd never seen it. I mean, I love the original Frankenstein. I love the original classic movie monsters, like
yeah.
their solo movies. But I'd never seen this one. So, I mean, obviously, thanks to Harrison for for bringing it up because probably wouldn't have watched it. Um,
It's really an interesting idea. On a side note, when it comes down to the Universal monsters, you were saying that Bella doesn't look the part. Here's a little side note. How many, you know, Lon Chaney Jr., Boris Karloff, Bela Lugosi, and Glenn Strange have all played the Frankenstein monster.
yeah,
Lon Chaney Jr. has actually played four of the big Universal monsters.
yeah,
He's played the Wolfman, Frankenstein's monster, Dracula, in Son of Dracula, and the Mummy.
yeah. But I
Yeah.
mean, but still, like the originals is what I look for.
No,
So yeah, I mean it's the I mean even when it comes to the figures and stuff like the toys, like if it's a Frankenstein that's not based off of Karloff, I'm not even interested.
Glenn Strange was probably the closest you got to actually looking like Karloff because he also had that really long face. It was
Yeah.
just a little more wider, but yeah, I mean, Karloff had his teeth pulled to get the gaunt look.
Hmm.
His back wisdom teeth he had pulled, so his cheeks
Yeah.
would sink in, and so it's just crazy. I'm with you. I mean, I love Karloff.
Yeah.
For instance.
So is there anything that you would like critiquing this movie? I know you said it's not your favorite. What did you like about this movie?
I, I think when it comes, the acting is just off the mark. I mean, I think they all did a really great job. You know, I feel for Baroness Frankenstein. You know, it wasn't Evelyn Ankers coming back. It was, she's got a really weird first name.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, but basically, she took over the Evelyn Ankers role from the previous Frankenstein movie. I like the acting. I love black and white films, so the fact that it's in black and white just you know is something that I'm attracted to. And if the story was more tightly woven, I would have loved the story. But
Yeah, I liked where they were going with the story. I liked
like the
I
idea.
liked that what they were doing. Like he basically wanted to end his own life.
Yeah,
He didn't want to be the Wolfman anymore. He didn't want to be stuck in this body, and he didn't want to be a werewolf anymore. So he was basically trying to find the way out. Basically, he's like, "How do I kill myself? I don't know how to do it," kind of deal. So that was the whole point. So they were trying to find Frankenstein's, you know,
the secret to life and
yeah,
death.
exactly. So just to try to reverse things. As far as, I mean, obviously there's a lot that you could say is not good about the movie. There's some scenes that I definitely think are just ridiculous, but at the same time, too, I thought it was a good time. I thought it was funny that when they were fighting, the Wolfman's regular attack was, all right, let me just get to a high point, just jump on him, like over and over again. That's all he did. Then he just rolled around on the floor. They get to another high point, jump on him. Then he just rolled around a bit. It was the same thing over and over again, which I thought was kind of funny. And then there was that whole scene where he took Frankenstein and threw him on the back of the cart, and they were just throwing barrels at people. And it looked like he was just going to fall off the cart. I just thought that was funny. But anyways, as a Universal movie monster, movie, how would you rate this?
Out of 10, I give it a 5.
Okay,
I mean,
I'd probably agree. I mean, I've seen worse and I've seen a lot better. So I'd say this is pretty much middle of the road. But Harrison brought up a great point that it is something that would set the tone for people wanting, these monsters to meet and battle each other, and that's what's responsible for things like Freddy versus Jason and like comic books like Freddy versus Jason versus Ash, stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, this being the first one, I mean, it's like after this, you finally got you got Dracula and Frankenstein and or Frankenstein's monster and the Wolfman in like House of Dracula, House of Frankenstein. You know.
So yeah, so I guess that's it, right? So I'm not sure what movies we're gonna do next, but we have a lot to choose from. So we're again just keep an eye out for the Horror 101 stuff on the Dorkening. Definitely go check it out, and we're gonna try to hit all 101 movies before the release of Death House,
which is sometime in early 2017.
Right. So we're trying to get that done, and I know it's a big feat, but I'm sure that we'll be able to do it. We have enough of us working on it where I think we'll be able to get this done, and hopefully you guys enjoy it, and definitely keep an eye out for the next ones. And
check out. Is there a way we could put the link to the list in the? Sure.
Well, we'll have Leo do that.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's on Harrison Smith's website. It's just www.class85.com, and then if you just click on horror, it's going to bring you to the Horror 101. And now Harrison's, there's some other movies that he's done that are pretty amazing. I haven't seen them all, but Camp Dread I loved, and Zombie Killer's Elephant Graveyard I think is awesome. It's one of the first roles I saw Felissa Rose in where I'm like, she's acting her ass off right here. Like, she just pulled off that like religious psycho, kind of person, just great in that movie. So definitely check out his other movies as well. They're just a really good time.
And some of the movies on this list are just, I mean, it's every. I know you said that there's movies on this list that you've never heard of.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen I believe I've seen the entire list, but it's for the person that's a true horror fan. It's a fun one to explore because you might find stuff you've never heard of.
Well, there's a lot that I've heard of, but I haven't seen. I have a friend who loves the movie Freaks. I don't know why I've never seen the movie Freaks. I just have never seen it. But that's on there. So maybe that'll be the next one I watch.
But I know that one that you said you've never even heard of was Day of the Triffids.
Right. So anyways, go check out the list. Check out more episodes of Horror 101 on the Dorkening. And support Harrison Smith. Check out Death House when that comes out. His trailer is going to be released soon, so that's going to be awesome too. And so, Wolfie, where can people find you at?
You can find me on YouTube, The 13th Wolfman, Twitter, at The 13th Wolfman, Tumblr, 13th Wolfman, The Prowl. And, of course, every Sunday and Tuesday on the Dorkening. And always check out the Dorkening.
Yep. And you can find me, A-Knuckle, on Twitter, Instagram, and Vine. And, of course, as well on the Dorkening. And, again, just be on the lookout for more Horror 101 videos and check out Harrison Smith's stuff. And be on the lookout for the trailer for Death House. Have a good one, guys.